first thing when you're planning a picnic this summer?
Well, first thing I think is to kind of keep it simple and easy. The last thing you want to do is stress out. And also keep in mind who you're picnicking with.
Right.
Make sure you kind of take their interests and desires at heart. The first thing I did actually was kind of a sunrise picnic because it's approaching sunrise where you guys are watching right now. Basically, the first and most important thing is going to be watching out for the pests.
Okay.
Deep woods off, something like that, just to kind of keep you clean and keep you safe from mosquitoes and such. Because they're really big at dawn and really big at sunset, which are going to be the two main times, obviously sunset more than dawn,
Absolutely.
that people are going to be outside.
All right, and also, of course, have something to clean your hands with.
Right, and that's this right here, the kind of the
Good.
baby wipes work or just any kind of antibacterial type thing.
So when you're talking about sunrise picnics, you have to have something that gets you going, that boost. And I see that you have a lot of nutrition out here.
Yeah, I threw some donuts in just because it's
Something on this.
exactly, yeah, donuts are important. But yeah, and like I said, it's nice and simple. It's yogurt, it's granola, it's some fresh fruit, some dried fruit, and what's important to do is you want to bring a sharp knife if you're going to cut any apples or something like that, any pears, but carry it carefully. You know, you don't want to have it. And we'll get to packing in a second. How it's very important to keep everything neat and clean and orderly and organized, and pick up after yourself. Make sure you pick up the trash and have a little sack or something with which to carry out. So
Great. And as far as utensils, you mentioned the knife. How do we carry those outside and make sure they're protected and clean?
Most things, if you just start clean at the beginning, you're going to be good. And you're probably not going to use it again, so it's not such a big deal if it's dirty. I would just use like a Ziploc bag or a grocery sack and just wrap it up in that after you're done. Just put it in the bag or the box or whatever you're carrying things out, and wash it when you get home.
I want to ask you really quick.
Sure.
I know that fruit here, I personally like colder fruit, but it's a preference. But you also have yogurt and beverages. Let's talk about keeping those things cool.
Yeah, the colder fruit's a great idea, and actually what we do, this right here, this is actually, they're frozen raspberries.
Okay.
And the great thing is, even if it's just a few minutes or if it's a long hike, if you start with frozen fruits, then you're going to be good at the end. Grapes don't freeze very well.
Right.
So hopefully they'll keep their coolness a lot kind of on their own. And also, if you just pack cold with cold and you make as little air around it as possible, it'll stay cold, even in these kind of ridiculously hot Alabama summers. You still can keep cold with cold, and keep an ice pack around if you can. Maybe some ice, just kind of pack it in, and carry a cooler if it's going to be not too short.
Great, Scott. Thank you so much for those tips. And of course, we're going to have so much more on your summer picnic coming up a little bit later in the show. Like you mentioned, this is the sunrise, so we're going to move on into the afternoon.